It's the 2K Sports pregame show.
We're starting to get some early answers on this year's big questions in the NBA season. And here to tell us what it all means are the experts, Kenny the Jet Smith, Shaquille O'Neal. I'm just your host, Ernie Johnson.
No one's an expert.
Huh?
No one's an expert.
Well, you guys try. And coming right up, we'll see the Denver Nuggets playing against the Milwaukee Bucks. Well, for Milwaukee, they may not have made the jump they were hoping to this season, but they were in 5th place in the East with still more than enough time to climb a few additional spots. And with some time here to spare, let's talk leadership in the NBA. Kenny, who would you say are the best leaders on the floor in the league?
Wow. Well, obviously, the great Tim Duncan in the San Antonio Spurs with his leadership with Greg Popovich. They're the top of the list. You know, I also like Kevin Durant. You know, Kevin Durant's leadership is probably unparalleled or underrated, I would say, from his position, because he always has his team in position to win.
There's two types of leaders, Ernie, the vocal leader and the one that leads by example. One of my favorite vocal leaders, Chris Paul. Dirk Nowitzki's not very vocal, but he leads by example. LeBron James does both. Very vocal at times, very animated.
Joakim Noah's not bad either now for the Bulls, even though he's not the greatest of those players, but he's a good leader.
Yeah, but LeBron does both.
What kind of a leader were you, Shaq?
I was vocal. I used to get in people's rack, Ernie.
Did you?
Mess around if you want to. Tear the locker room up.
What would you do if you had a guy like Kenny on your team?
I wouldn't do anything for Kenny because Kenny would make me look good because I know for a fact if I kick it out to Kenny, he's going to knock it down.
And you know, I would be the first thing I would say, if we don't get it to Shaq, I'm slapping someone.
Let's get it to Kevin Harlan as they get ready for the opening tip.
You just scared me.
Let's meet the visiting team, Denver Nuggets. At shooting guard, Will Barton. At the other guard position, Emmanuel Mudiay. At small forward, Wilson Chandler. At center, Nikola Jokic. At the other forward position, Kenneth Faried. The head coach of the visiting team is Mike Malone. Number 6, Steve Novak. At point guard, at 6'6", number 5, Michael Carter-Williams. The other forward, standing 6'8", number 12. Jabari Parker. At the other guard position, 6 feet 7 inches, number 22, Chris Middleton. At center, standing 6'11", number 15. Greg Monroe. The head coach of your home team is Jason Kidd. Once again, your Milwaukee Bucks.
Sports presents the NBA Monday Night Basketball. It's coming right up. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. It's East versus West here in Milwaukee. The Bucks hope to put on a show for this home crowd. They beat the Nuggets during their last encounter in Denver.
And you know what? Exactly what had to be done in terms of winning on the road. Never allowed any momentum to build up against them. Kept the crowd out of the game. And for every punch they took, they had a counter.
I was very impressed, Greg, with the way they stood their ground, even when they were on their heels some, coming through those moments where they were backing up a bit. That's what it takes on the road. You got to show that kind of fortitude and resilience.
Now let's take a look at Denver's opening lineup. Chandler and Fareed are at the forward spots. Moutier out there with Will Barton. And it's Jay in at the 5, roaming the paint. Now here's Middleton. Fades back. And it's Jokic with the rebound. Looking at Denver, they want to turn it around after the loss to the Mavericks in Dallas.
Yeah, I had the chills watching that. It really was a nightmare defensively for them when you go into that building and get punished by some very hot shooting.
They didn't challenge the shooters. They didn't defend the shooters like they should have. And once the fans got into it, when the arena started ramping up and cranking up, it was over. 3 misses to start the game, still trying to break the seal on that hoop.
Here's Barton. Carter Williams covering. And here's Moutier. 14 points from him the last game against the Mavericks in Dallas.
And not just the scoring. It was also how fierce he was on defense, grabbing 3 steals on the night as well.
The Nuggets shooting their first free throws here for the night.
At the line for 2.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
The first free throw is good. The Milwaukee Bucks ended last season 41 up and 41 down, a perfect 500 mark, and they were the epitome, Clark, of average at the end of the season, and as you can see, even during it.
Well, they're a young team, but at one point, 17-17, also had an 11-11 record against the East and 6-6 against the West.
And so he makes both from the line.
And the Bucks were average last season. I mean, they were 17-17, also 77 at home, 10-10 on the road, 5-5 in the games leading up to that. So in every measurable way, they were 500.
Now here's Parker. 14 points from him the last game against the Hornets in Charlotte. 3 on the clock. First shot, first basket. He's off the blocks fast.
Wow, he was just wide open there. That's way too easy. You know, just thinking back to that Milwaukee factoid again, I mean, the odds that we'll ever see something like that happen again are minuscule. I mean, that team was just destined to end up 41-41. You know, there are a lot of bigger power forwards than him in the NBA, but very few that rise up like he can.
Moutier with the rebound.
Really just struggling here in the first few minutes. 5 attempts with only 1 falling.
Pass to Jokic. He kicks it to Moutier. No good. Now the Bucks tend it the other way. Defeated by the Hornets in their last game, they'll try to put that one behind them.
Yeah, they just really struggled to put points on the board throughout that game. You could just see they were pressing, just couldn't get anything to go on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, and guys, once they got spiraling downward, there seemed to be no way to get out of it. All their offense jumped the pot. I'm not sure that was the play they had set up, but it was too